press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello children, how are you? I hope all are doing good. So today I am here with you with new lesson. The name of the lesson is The Great Stone Face First, okay, which was written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Okay, let's say about the writer's introduction. So Nathaniel Hawthorne, he was born on 4th July 1804, Salem, Massachusetts, United States. Okay, this place is which is in United States of America. And he was an American novelist and dark romantic and also short story writer. And his works are which is based on history, morality and also religion. Okay, and also let's see about the works of his. He has written some of the short stories. The name of the short stories are Young Goodman Brown, The Birthmark, The Minister's Black Veil. Okay, so these are the short stories which was written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. So let's see about this lesson, The Great Stone Face First. Okay, here The Great Stone Face First, it is the story of a boy, so which he look into the mountain, okay, which is a hill. So when we are far from a hill, so it resembles like some of the animal face, some of the human faces, is it? So here in this story is also there is a hill, so which resembles the face of a human being. Okay, so here a boy, name of a boy Ernest. So he always look into that hill and he just visualizing in himself and he was talking with him with that great stone face. Okay, so let's see here. Before I am going to start a lesson, let's see some of the introduction of this lesson. Seen from a distance, hilltops and huge rocks seem to assume various shapes. Okay, so when we look far away from the hills and which is the rocks which is present on the hill, okay, and it gives the various shapes. So that rocks and also the hills which assumes us, means we just assuming about there are some different shapes. They may resemble an animal or a human figure. Sometimes that hilltop, okay, hilltops, it was resembles like a, okay, when we assuming it is a certain, it is like a faces of the animal or faces of human being. People attribute the stories to these shapes. So in this village where they look, they see the great stone face, it resembles, they attribute it. Attributed means they just they have created a story so about that great stone face, the people who are living in that village. Some stories come true, okay, some stories are really it was happened, but others don't. Okay, but other stories it is not true at all. The great stone face is one such shape that reminds the inhabitants of the valley of a prophecy. Okay, so prophecy means one who statement about the future, when one who gives the statement about a future, what will happen. Okay, that is called prophecy. Okay, so great stone, the story about this lesson is when somebody look into the face of a hilltop, that is the great stone face, so they just giving a prophecy, means they just giving a statement that so the man who is appeared which is resemble like a great stone face. Resemble means which is similar, which look the person which look like a this great stone face. Okay, so he will come in the future. So all the people they are believing in this town, in this village. Okay, that is the valley. So this is the background of the story. So let's see about the lesson. Okay, one afternoon when the sun was going down, a mother and her little boy sat at the door of their cottage talking about the great stone face. So once in a village, so where there is a hilltops, so here a mother and also her daughter, her son, they both are sitting together and they are sitting in the cottage where they are living and they are looking into the great stone face. Okay, so great stone face, they sat together, mother and son, so they are looking into the great stone face which is in that town. They had only to lift lift their eyes, and there it was, plain to be seen, though miles away, with the sunshine brightening all its features. Means when they just see that, means it is very near, the hills which is far away, but sometimes it looks like it is a near to us. Okay, so how they see these hilltops? So when they just move their eyes, so that hilltops they can see that, and through that they can see the great stone face. Okay, and the plain to be seen, though the miles away, actually that the hilltop, it is a mile away, but then also if we can see that, it looks like it is near to us. Okay, with the sunshine brightening all its features. So when the sun, it was reflected on that hilltops, so it was looking like it is very bright. Okay, the hilltop is very bright. So we can so if we stand anywhere, so that hilltops we can see it easily. Okay, and what was the great stone face? So here the question is, what is this great stone face? Now the great stone face was a work of a nature, formed on the perpendicular side of a mountain by some immense rocks which had been thrown together so that when viewed at a proper distance they resembled the feature of a human face. Here the question is, in this, when I read this, so there is a question. So what is this great stone face? Here there is an explanation about what is this great stone face. So the great stone face was a work of nature. It is not a work of human beings. It is a work of nature. So nature has produced it. Okay, formed on a perpendicular side. Perpendicular means rising very steeply. Cliff or a rock face. Okay, so it is very steeply, very rising way, and it is like a perpendicular side of a mountain by some immense rocks. So it is a mountain. Actually that great stone face is a mountain, but there are some rocks is also formed in that mountain, which had been thrown together so that. So when we look far away from that mountain, means the hilltop is there. When we look far away on that hilltop, so it looks like when it is together, the mountain with the rocks together, it look like when viewed at a proper distance, they resemble the feature of a human face. Okay, so when there is a combination of a mountain with the rocks, okay, so which is on a perpendicular side, so which is when we look into that mountain which is far away from we are in a distance, we are not near. If you go near to that, we can't see any faces, okay, on that mountain, but we are far away from that mountain, so we can see the face there. Okay, so there is a face which is look like a great stone face. The people who are living in that town or a village there, so they call as a great stone face, because when they look far away from that mountain, so that gives a face of a man. Okay, that is called as a great stone face. Now let's see here, if the spectator approach to near, spectator, okay, spectator means observer, the person who approached near to this mountain, so what happened? The lost the outline of the enormous face could see only heap of gigantic rocks. When the observer, they could go near to that mountain and they could observe it. Is there really that face is present on the mountain? So there is when we go there, when a person go there, when an observer go there, the face is disappeared. Okay, there is no faces, only heap of gigantic rocks. Heap is group of huge rocks are present on that mountain, hilltops. Okay, hilltop. Then piled on one upon another. So those rocks which is piled upon one another. Piled means which is group. Okay, group of rocks which is on one another. Only that thing we get it when we go near to that. Okay, when we go near to that, when observer go near to that mountain, only we get only the rocks. Okay, that is the group of rocks. If you look far away from that mountain, so it looks like there is a great stone face. Okay, the face which is resembles a man. Then, but seen from a distance, the clouds clustering about it, the great stone face seemed positively to be alive. So when somebody will look into that mountain, so it looks like a great stone face, and it looks like a positively thought of face. Okay, the face which is looking like a positively thought, not in anger, not in a sad, not in a depressed, okay, not in a hatred face it is showing. The expression is not like that. Okay, the expressions are like the kindness, sympathy. Okay, so that stone face, the great stone face which is filled with the positive thoughts. So that expression, the thoughts which gives the expression on his face. Okay, then it was alive. It seems like that is alive. The great stone face, it is a alive one. It was belief of many people that the valley owed much of its fertility to beaming face that was continually beaming over it. Okay, so the people are believing that. So the valley means the valley which is covered with the great stone face. It is fertility, the face which is resembled to the person who is living in that valley. Okay, living in the valley, and they will thought of it. Who? The people. Actually, the person who is living in that valley. So that face is resembles to that person. Okay, so great stone face is resembled to the person who is born in this valley. Okay, so this is, and none another any other person. Okay, so this is a mother and her little boy, as we said earlier, sat at the door of their cottage, gazing at the great stone face and talking about it. The child's name was Ernest. So before this paragraph means the line begin with the mother and her little boy. So before this, whatever I said, that is the explanation about a great stone face. Okay. So now is about the story. Again it is come to the mother and child. Okay, so as I said earlier, they both were sat together and they are looking at the great stone face. Okay, so they are sitting near to their cottage. Okay, so there we are seeing, and they both of them means mother and her son, they both are looking into the great stone face, and they are gazing means they are looking fixedly at that mountain. And here the name of the child is Ernest. Okay, so the boy who is sitting with the mother, the name of the boy is Ernest. Ernest. Okay, mother. Now boy, here Ernest says to his mother, mother, said he. Okay, who? He means Ernest. He said, while the great stone face smiled, great face smiled on him. I wish that I could speak, for it looks so very kindly that its voice must indeed be pleasant. Okay, so he asked to his mother that when I look into that great face, so it looks like it wanted to talk with me. Okay, that I wish that he could speak. Actually that is not speaking, but when I look into that face, so it is like actually I wanted to speak with that great face. Okay, for it looks so very kindly. So while it is looking, so it looks like the faces looks like a kind in nature. Okay, and that its voice must be indeed be pleasant, and there must be the pleasant in his voice. Okay, the great stone face voice is also be pleasant, because through the look, while I looked at the face, it looks like it is a kind face. Okay, the kind, the heart, the thought, the mind is full with the kindness, the heart is also full with the kindness. So because of that, the expressing through the face. So maybe when it is also speaking, so when that one also, when great face is also speaking, so I wish that it can speak positively and with the pleasant. It is very happy to listen the voice of that great stone face. If I ever see a man with such a face, I should love him very much. So here boy's wishes, he wanted to look this person in his life. Okay, really he wanted to look that kind of a person in his life. So when he was that kind of a person in his life, he will love him. Okay, because the face of that great stone, it is very expressive with the kindness. So the boy has understood the kindness. Okay, the nature of the human being, that boy has understood through the expressing of the great stone face. Okay, so he is wishing that to look to see that any man who is living, who is resembles to the great stone face, Okay, he will be love him. If an old prophecy should come to pass, answered his mother. So, only when he will look that kind of a person in this valley, the old prophecy means the statement which is going to be happen. The person who will say the fortune, means the about a future. So that is going to be happen. So who is answered here? Mother has answered here. The old prophecy is going to be passed. We may see a man sometime with exactly such a face as that. Yes, we may see if the old prophecy, means the person who has said about the future, that person is going to come in the future. If it is going to be happen, it is a true one. The old prophecy, it is a true one. It is a right one. Means we will look that face in our real life. Okay. Then, what prophecy do you mean, dear mother? Eagerly inquired Ernest. So here Ernest, after listening the words of mother, so now Ernest become very excited and his curiosity was increased. Okay, so with the inquiry minded, he asked more question about this great face. So what is the prophecy? Means what is this prophecy? What do you mean, mother? Dear mother? Then please tell me about it. So tell me about the old prophecy. What is this? What is the story behind this? So his mother told him a story that her own mother had told her. Okay. So now Ernest's mother was saying story of her mother when her mother was a old girl. Okay. She was a younger one. Okay. Her mother is said, means grandmother of Ernest's mother. She was said to her mother, okay, when she herself was younger than little Ernest. So her mother was younger than the little Ernest. So that time, so they had passed the prophecy of this great stone face. Okay, that at some future day a child should be born. Okay, what is the old prophecy? In some of the day, the child will be born in this valley. Child will be born. And near here, who was destined to become a greatest and noblest person of his time, whose face in manhood should bear an exact resemblance to the great stone face. Okay, so what is the old prophecy here? The people, they were believing a man, means a boy is going to be born in this valley or nearby valley. So that is resembles like a great stone face when he become a man. Okay, and that man had a qualities of kindness, nobleness, with a big heart. Okay, with a big heart, and that face is resembles with this great stone face, and he will be born in the future. So that one was old prophecy which was said by the Ernest mother, grandmother. Okay, Ernest mother's grandmother said to her mother. Okay, then many still had faith in this old prophecy, but others took it to be nothing but idle talk. Some people are believing about this old prophecy, but some people, they just only talk about this issue. Okay, they were never believing, they are not believing, but some people are believing that the person, means the person who is looking like a great stone face, he will be coming in the future. Okay, so which he belongs to this valley, that person belongs to this valley, so he will be coming in the future. Then at all events, the great man of the prophecy had not yet appeared. Okay, after that, when the old prophecy they had said by the olden days, means in her mother days, so till now they had not seen any kind of a person who is resembles with the great stone face. Okay, then, oh mother, cried Ernest, clapping his hands then above his head, I do hope that I shall live to see him. So he is very excited. Ernest is very excited, and he said to his mother that, oh mother. So, oh mother, cried Ernest with very happily. He said to his mother, then clapping his hands, he was clapping his hand, that he was looking, he will look the great stone face in his life. If he could alive, okay, means when he is very small kid, okay, he is a younger boy. So he will get a chance to see the great stone face man who is means the man who is resembles with the great stone face. So he was very excited when he was listen the story of this great stone face. Okay, so he was believing and he is hoping that he could see him in the future, okay, who resembles with the great stone face. His mother was an affectionate and thoughtful woman. Okay, so his mother was very affectionate. He was very attracted and also very love and kind towards her son. Okay, and thoughtful woman, and she has good thoughts. Means positive thoughts in her. So it was a proper, she thought, not to discourage the fanciful hopes of her little boy. So now the boy has developed a hope in itself, is it? So that's why now mother has not discouraged the hopes of a little boy. So why he could? Because he had developed the fanciful thoughts. So she doesn't wanted to break that hope. Okay, so then she wanted to make it alive in his mind about the great stone face. Okay, so she said to him, perhaps you may, yes, if you will, you can see great stone face, the man which resembles with the great stone face. So she is also agreed with the boy. And Ernest never forget the story that his mother told him. And throughout his life, so he was always just thinking about the great stone face and the man who is coming to the village, coming to this valley, who is having the good qualities, the noble characters, okay, and he is so kindness, okay, he shows very kindness and mercy to the people. So he is never forget that story, okay, after so many days also. Then it was always in his mind whenever he looked upon the great stone face. So the story what his mother told to him, so he had never forget it, and whenever he looked into the great stone face, he just reminding that story. He is recalling that story. And he spent his childhood in the log cottage where he was born, was dutiful to his mother and helpful to her in many things, assisting her mother with his little hands and more with his loving heart. Okay, log cottage means a house which is made up with the pieces of timber. Okay, so the boy, after he was listened the story of that great stone face, so he was helping to his mother, okay, in all the work, and he is assisting, and he is very kind. Okay, the boy, he developed the character of a kindness, okay, helpful nature, caring. So he always helped, being a help to his mother. Okay, and with his little hand, he is always be ready with her, with his mother, and then there are love in his heart. There are love in his mind. Okay, so there is a kind and sympathy. Okay, but he never forget the story of that great stone face. In this manner, from a happy yet often pensive child, he grew up to be a mild and quiet youth. So when he heard the story from his mother, he was a little boy, and now after day passed, now he become a little older. Okay, little older means he is in the boy. Actually, he is a boy, but he is in the age which is called as a childhood. Okay, he is in a childhood, and he is in a little youth. Okay, he is a quiet and mild youth. He achieved. He has, yeah. In this manner, he was living his life happily with his mother, and he was grieving his life with a mild and also quietful youth. Ernest had no teacher, but the great stone face became one to him. So Ernest, he didn't had any teachers. Okay, so only a teacher which he would admire, that is the great stone face. Okay, this is the teacher. This great stone face is the teacher for him. When the work of the day was over, he would gaze at it for hours until he began to imagine. He would imagine that those vast features recognized him. Okay, so after he finished all day work, he was just sitting at the near to his house, and he was gazing means he was fixedly looking at the great stone face. Okay, hours together he was gazing at him, at great stone face, until he began to imagine those vast features recognized him. Okay, so till then he was sitting there hours together. Till then he could not recognized with the other features of the great stone face. Okay, other features means the characters of a great stone face, and gave him a smile of kindness and encouragement. So he could only, because from the mind whatever he thought of that great stone face, so those images he could see. Okay, so what images he could see, that the face is showing the kindness and also encouragement. Okay, and the smile, it gives the smile with the kindness and encouragement to that boy. Okay, so this is about this time. About this time, there went a rumor throughout the valley that the great man, who was to bear a resemblance to the great stone face, had appeared at last. Okay, so the at last means meanwhile the rumor was spread in this valley. What the rumor is, the man which is resembles with the great stone face, so he will be arriving to this valley. Okay, it seems that many years before a young man had left the valley, settled at a distant seaport, gather gold. Okay, which was his name. So the man who was born in this valley, he was shifted to the other town, which is called as a seaport, and the name of the man which is arriving there, which is resembles with the great stone face, the name of that person is Gather Gold, which he was his name. Had set up as a shopkeeper and being a sharp in business matters. He was a shopkeeper, and he had earned a lot of wealth. Okay, he in his business had become a very rich that would have taken him 100 years only to count his wealth. Okay, so he was a very rich businessman that he can't it's means 100 years is also not enough to count his wealth. So he has earned a lot of wealth. So that's why he was called as a Gather Gold, the name of the person. In time, he thought of his native valley and decided to go back there and end his days where he had been born. Okay, so at the end, because he was an old person, the Gather Gold, he was an old person, so he decided to go to his valley where he was born. So live his rest of his life. So in that valley where he was born. Okay, so that's why he decided to go. He was coming to this valley. Okay, where the Ernest is living. Ernest had been deeply stirred by the idea that the great man, the noble man, the man of prophecy, after so many ages of delay, was at length to be seen in his native valley. Okay, so now Ernest is very curious to see this man, which is stirred. Stirred means moved by the idea. He got so many ideas that the great man, so he called him that man is a great man, a noble man. Okay, the man of prophecy after many ages of delay was at length to be seen in the native valley. Okay, the person who is called as a great man, noble man, a man of prophecy, at last is arriving to this valley. Okay, and he will be coming to this valley after so many delays. Then, while the boy was still gazing up the valley one day and imagining that the great stone face returned his gaze, and the noise of wheels was heard, a crowd of people cried, "Here comes the great Mr. Gather Gold." So, meanwhile, the boy was also looking at this. He was gazing, means he was looking at great stone face fixedly. So, he was imagining, okay, one day he is going to meet with that a man who resembles with that great stone face. And then the day arrived. The day came that he was returned his gaze, and the noise wheels was heard. So when he was coming from the gazing to that great stone face, there is a wheel noise arrived. Okay, heard, and a crowd of people cried. Means the crowd of people, the people were gathered, and they were saying that here there is a man which resembles with the great stone face. Here comes the great Mr. Gather Gold. Okay, so here the man is arrived here, that is called as a Mr. Gather Gold. So today I am going to stop this lesson here. I am going to continue this lesson in the next class. Okay, so I hope that this story is quite interesting to you. So we will meet you in the next class. All of you stay at home, Keep learning. Thank you.